Brad, welcome to the show. It's really neat. It's a big stage, big crowd, big everything. And me and you, ironically, are going to talk about big today. Isn't that cool?
Right.
So tell us, from your perspective, what is big?
BIG is the Building Intelligence Group, and we are a cross-functional networking association that brings people together at a local level. So we looked out and we said, Realcomm is wonderful. We love being able to come here, but we only get this once a year. How do you go about having these conversations on a continuing basis in your own backyard? So that was sort of the genesis for BIG.
Excellent. I can't agree with that more, because I feel like a lot of times you're getting so many different things thrown at you at one time, and you're kind of, should I know what this is? Should I not know what this is? And so I think once you get into a peer network, you can settle down a little bit, you get more comfortable, and then you can really start to ask questions and learn things that you might not have learned just from watching something like that, right? So really cool there. And I think you guys have a specific mission statement on your website that I thought was really neat.
Yeah, and I really want to emphasize the cross-functional nature of our group, because it's about bringing people together who may not have been getting together in their own siloed organization. Telecommunications industry has Bixby, you've got ASHRAE, but if these people aren't coming together and having conversations about how we're able to work together to be able to make the building intelligent, then it makes it a little bit harder. So we wanted to try and accelerate the adoption of intelligent buildings, try and bring owners in that conversation in a safe space where they're not going to be feeling like they're going to get a sales pitch. And so it's important to get the end users, the practitioners, the solutions providers all together from all these different types of solutions and technologies and have conversations with each other. So sometimes that's just an informal discussion, sometimes it's bringing in expert panelists and speakers, and we really let each chapter figure out what's the best for them, and that they are kind of having their own unique character and identity. And it's really fun to see as these chapters are springing up around the country, all grassroots, all volunteer-based, just how they decide to take that core DNA of BIG and then turn it into their own.
Yeah, that's neat. So you're bringing in building owners, bringing in integrators, maybe bringing in suppliers, manufacturers, all these people to basically just have conversation around smart buildings, right? So you're getting it from various perspectives. And then you mentioned chapters. So it sounds like there's chapters across the country?
There are. Yeah, it started in the Twin Cities, and it really was just, hey, we've got a conference room, we can throw a little bit of food and beverage on the table and invite all of our friends. I'm going to invite my colleagues, I'm going to invite my competitors and your colleagues, get everybody talking. Take the team jersey off when you walk through the door and just be here to represent your ideas and have a great conversation about that stuff. So these chapters have been forming organically. Started in Chicago was our next chapter, and then down in Austin, Texas, and over the last several years it's really been booming, kind of like popcorn kernels that are starting to go off.
Nice.
And so you have to go to the website to find out where our chapters are currently. Earlier this month, we had a chapter spring up at their first meeting in the Bay Area, another one over in Cleveland, and we've got more of them that are on the books. We're talking to those people who are in those markets and are interested in trying to get their own chapter started. Yeah,
it's really neat. You and I met and talked about this interview and what we were going to do, and I hadn't heard of you, right? And I went on the website. It was all the information that I really needed to know was on the website. And then I was really happy to see that somebody that I know, shout out, Max Shirley, is the local Atlanta chapter. So I have full intentions of joining, but their name is. Does every chapter have a slightly different name, or?
No, but we are welcome to people who have good brand identity that they wanted to try and use. So they call themselves So Be It.
Okay.
And boy, I should know what the acronym stands for. It's a clever acronym. They kind of got something going around the same time BIG was getting started.
Yeah.
And we've been talking with them about it and making sure that we're not creating factions within all of these different groups that are coming together to have the same purpose and have the same vision. So they kind of already existed and did that. Our Boston chapter, Boston Smart.
There you go.
How can you not love that? So we try and encourage people to be a big brand chapter, but that's not what's most important to us. It's most important to us that we're getting people together and having the conversation.
Yeah, you guys just want to further the understanding of what we're doing, right? What are we really trying to do? With buildings, and it seems like I come to Realcomm and there's a new theme every year of something that we're trying to do better or different, and so you guys are just essentially just trying to take the noise out of that simplify it, spread it across multiple channels of people, silos of people, and do it. So I think it's great. So what would make an ideal big member?
It's really anybody who has any interactions with the intelligent building. And we really just want to encourage people to get out there and have the conversation, be a part of our chapters. So we're still young. We have been around for 6.5 years, and we're growing. We're learning along the way because we're all intelligent building practitioners. We've never started a nonprofit association before.
Right.
So we're getting a lot of great input from a lot of the people who have stepped up and said, hey, I know how to do that, or I want to learn how to do that, and I'm going to go ahead and lead and volunteer my time. So anybody can join and be a member. You don't even have to be a member to be able to come to the meetings. We want people in the door. So down the road, we'll push that a little bit more, but it's not a big emphasis right now. We just want people to be in the tent. It
feels really safe. Feels like from what I've heard, everyone just is wanting to further the industry. And so, what if someone wants to join though, and there's no local chapter? What do we do then?
We have a chapter liaison.
Okay.
He was Ben Disney who helped start up our local chapter in Chicago. So as we've been growing, we've been putting some subcommittees together to help build out the organization, the nonprofit. So we look for somebody who's going to be somewhat entrepreneurial, has a good network, has a good understanding of intelligent buildings, and wants to try and take that to build that chapter out and start with getting a few other people to be able to help. Many hands make light work. So getting more people together to help be a planning committee, and then just figure out who's got a space, who can sponsor some of the food and get the few meetings planned out, get some of the stuff posted on our website, and we've got a lot of great tools to help anybody who's interested in doing that.
Excellent.
We meet with Ben and with the other people on that chapter committee to show you some of the orientation, and we get all these leaders together quarterly and take feedback from everybody. Let's share some of the best practices. Let's share some of those things that would trip you up so that we can all learn from each other, and that's the best part of Big, I think, is being able to work with some of the top-notch talent from across the country and being able to have these people who I call friends. And all collaborating together. We might work for companies that are competing against each other during our day jobs, but we still come together and try and elevate each other's game, try and inspire each other. I get really enthusiastic about that, and I feel really honored to work with those folks.
That's excellent, and I definitely encourage people to research it, look out, and consider joining. But this isn't your full-time job, right? You talked about different things, but you're an engineer, right?
That's right.
Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, nobody at Big is an employee of Big. It's all volunteer-based, all grassroots. So my day job, I come from the telecommunications, security, audio, video, low voltage side of the world, and immediately started going, well, why aren't these things talking to each other? And I've always taken my fearless naivety as a strength and gone, I'm just going to go ahead and push some of that. So it helped me push a little more into the intelligent buildings and learning more about controls and automation. And so now the company that I'm working for, KFI Engineers, and I made the move recently to go over there because we're unique as a consultant. We're going to do design, but we also come in and do controls programming for the clients who want that. And we think that's an important thing to do because we believe that controls shouldn't be a commodity, that it really works well as a professional services delivery. So by being able to go work direct to the client and help to understand what their needs are and take those owner requirements, and then that same engineer is going to place the order, and that same engineer is going to start programming, and then do the checkout in the project. It really helps to streamline that process and helps to give the owner best value. And we like to work with owners who are interested in being able to run their systems. We hear a lot about people whose systems are captive and they can't get their data out of it and can't necessarily change set points sometimes. So we think we're solving that problem by being there to help enable and train those end users so that they can be successful on their own, and we can come in there and help provide support and service as needed, and we work together with a lot of those clients. Yeah,
sounds like a sound model. I think you're doing some great things. It's been really fun to meet you. How do people interested in Big or KFI Engineers find you?
Well, if you're here at the show, you can stop by our booth. We're over in the Partner Pavilion next to esteemed associations like BOMA and Ashby, and Stacks and Jewels is just around the corner. So people we try and work well with. We try and collaborate with a lot of other organizations, and that we find that cross-pollination really just helps out both sides of the people who are collaborating together. And you can go to our website, buildingintelligencegroup.org, to learn more. You can sign up to be a member, sign up and get on a mailing list. Sign up and tell us, hey, you'd like to start a local chapter if we don't have a chapter where you are. And if you want to get a hold of us, understand more about what KFI is doing, it's kfi-eng.com.
Excellent. I think that's a wrap. You agree?
Thank you, Rob. It's been a lot of fun.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Great to meet you, and thank you guys.